Yo, 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 ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another In the OT podcast for BetHubbSportsBlog.com. I am your host, Chad M., and of course today we are breaking down the most controversial topic in the world of sports, which is none other than what occurred in the ring last evening as Manny Pacquiao got absolutely screwed out of a victory over Timothy Bradley. Two of the three judges had the fight going 115-113 in favor of Bradley. The other one 115-113 for Manny Pacquiao. Now, I'll come off the top here and say, first of all, that I am no boxing expert. I'm a casual fan who really only gets into it when there are marquee matchups with a superstar like Manny Pacquiao. And I don't know the exact intricacies within the sport of exactly what these judges use to determine who wins rounds and fights, but just based on looking at the numbers and seeing the fight with my own two eyes, I just do not understand how this fight could have gone in favor of Timothy Bradley. Can someone please explain to me how Manny Pacquiao landed 253 punches to 159 for Bradley, and how he landed more punches in 10 of the 12 rounds, but yet that isn't good enough for the victory. Unless there was something that Bradley did with his punches that were a lot harder to the body of Pacquiao and had more force towards him, then it makes no sense whatsoever. And what drives me nuts about all this is the fact that these judges, who I'm sure are extremely corrupt, just get away with it. Nothing happens. They don't have to come and answer questions from the media. They don't have to take any heat. If I'm the Nevada Athletic Commission, if I'm Bob Arum, if I'm anybody in the sports world when it comes to journalism with boxing, I am demanding to speak to these judges. I want to drill them with questions. I want to know the exact reasoning. I want to know the logic. I want a round-by-round breakdown to be somewhat satisfied in the way they came to the conclusion with Bradley winning this fight. Is an absolute joke. This sport already has enough of a dark shadow over it, and an event like this clearly is not going to help it. There's a reason that it's continued to go downhill the last 15 to 20 years, and it's an absolute sham. It's almost turning into the WWE here. It's almost like a sitcom. It's an entertainment. You can't even put this in the world of sports when results like this are happening. And I think at the end of the day here, the biggest phony in all this is Bob Arum, someone that I've claimed from day one as a little bitch. That's what he is, because he continues to run away from Floyd Mayweather, the fight that we all want to see. He controls Manny Pacquiao. Now, I'll put a little bit of blame on him as well, because he could part ways with him if he really wanted to. He's got enough money. He's got enough clout that if he wanted to make the fight happen with Mayweather, he could do it on his own accord and get rid of him. But we know that Bob Arum is holding him down. He is stringing him down and not wanting this to happen. And he can come out here and rant and rave and say the way he wants an investigation, and he's not happy with everything. But you know how much money he's making from the rematch. And I have to believe at the end of the day that played an absolutely massive factor into this, in possibly having these judges become corrupt here with that clause in the contract, having the rematch, setting it up for November. Then it just prolongs and probably even eliminates the possibility of the Mayweather fight. It's just an absolute joke. How on earth do you have a sport where the two best fighters at their particular craft can't even find a way to get in the ring? That's what I'll always say is the reason why I'll never be a massive boxing fan, because of the structure and the way they have things. There's just too many titles. Nobody knows what's what. It's just corruption all across the board. And last night is just another reason as to why I can't get into it all that much, and a lot of people are losing more and more interest. And for the people that go out there and spend the money on pay-per-view, all I can do is just laugh, because you are the reasons that this continues to happen. You're just feeding the machine. If approximately 1 million people bought the pay-per-view, well, you do the math, that's 60 times that. That's $60 million, and there's plenty of people profiting from it. The only way we're ever going to see change here is if society stands up to the sport as a whole and says, fuck it, we're not going to go and buy the pay-per-view. We're not going to go and buy the merchandise, and we're going to help force and drive the revenue streams down so that they're forced to look at the model that they have and change things up to benefit the sport. And that's my rant on everything here. Chad here with another In the OT podcast, BetHubbSportsBlog.com.